Okay, guys, welcome to a SportsMatters special. And we are here and we have one of the best boxers in the country and in the world right now. Shauna had a great performance in her last fight in Ireland on home soil. And yet again, a woman after two fights, you know what I mean? It's rare they make noise, but she's have to make a noise after the first fight and the second fight. Shauna, what's happening those things with you?
Things are really, really good.
Good.
I'm back in London. I'm settled, back training the whole lot. So yeah, I'm good.
You're good. And listen, you're constantly training, you know what I mean? 24/7, eat, sleep, train, and box and repeat. So how's things with Kev and all the crew? Obviously, look, you're putting in the hard rounds and the lot of training.
Yeah, it's really, really good. Don't get me wrong, the week at home was needed, but obviously I trained with my S&C coach there. Like you say, I don't want days off, so I take a week off from punching, but we stay doing S&C because obviously you take a taper time from doing S&C for like 3 4 weeks, so I get back on it. Kevin couldn't wait to have me back. I rushed back. I think I fought the Saturday. Was back in London by the Friday. I didn't even stay a full week or anything at home because Connor obviously won the London, so he's my stable mate, and then Fred was fighting, so I want to be there, having us all there as a team, right? And I'm not going to lie, I said it in one of the interviews yesterday. Unfortunately, Connor's out of the ABAs, which my heart is broke from, but he sustained an injury. But being around Kevin and Connor and myself, the three of us together, it makes me so excited for the stable that Kevin's going to grow, that Kevin is growing. I believe Connor is going to be a world champion at pros. I believe he's going to be unstoppable, like I believe I am. So to have that and know like Kevin's, I'm under great I'm looked after well, just put it that way with Kevin. It's amazing. I love it here. Absolutely love it here.
Yeah, and I know, like you say, look, I've been blessed to know Kevin for a while and obviously see him fight back in the day, but he obviously thinks highly of you because Kevin's circle would be small, you know. So the fact, you're in that circle, the fact he's always praising you, he's got that beaming smile because of you. It must be class, obviously, working under Kevin. And I say you've learned so much already, Shauna.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? They say fighters normally don't progress quickly, right? It takes fights and fights and fights, but what me and Kevin have going, the connection that we've built, the understanding of each other. Like I know him inside out and back to front already, and I'm only with him since September, right? We just gel so well, and you compare both performances between my pro debut to my second one. I've went up like levels, like I mean levels, because of the constant work he puts in day out, like with my boxing, just working with me, building me mentally. He's teaching me the game inside and out as well, which is amazing. Like my goal is to be able to manage myself and not need a manager, and he's teaching me all that. And then also what I want to do is I want to do what Kevin's doing when I retire and when I do everything that I want to do in my boxing. I want to go back into the sport and I want to help kids like me and bring them through and not want to take them for a ride because everyone knows there's leeches out there. There's fucking dogs out there. And he's not one of them. And there's very few of them. So because of the good man he is and because of how much he's given me, I want to give back.
Yeah, and like boxing is a business, as you know, Shauna. Like, there's no doubt. Like when you mention, like there is leeches out there and stuff. I suppose Kev has probably witnessed that firsthand, where you're promised this, you're promised that. You know what I mean? It is a massive business, and like you do have to be cautious. Like, have you learned some of that stuff already? Have you seen like how it can be a dangerous game?
So I get told it to me, right? More than once a week, I'd say. Why am I still doing what I'm doing? And that is no word of a lie. From day one, I've had setback after setback after setback. Nothing about my career has run smoothly. Nothing. But the way I look at it, it's literally God tested me to see how much I really want it. And it's kicking in my skin for what's to come. If I can deal with all this so early on, when I get more like conditioned for it, as they say, it'll be like nothing to me. So like my pro debut, I had a manager, that manager left. So I had two managers at the start. There's a load of shit with that. So we got rid of him. So that was at the start. My living arrangement changed. Trying to find sponsors. The opponent for my pro debut, she was really hard, but obviously we get on with that. I'm like one of those, I'll get in with anyone. I don't really care.
Yeah.
And then I was trying to find the living arrangements. I booked a fight, had the whole fight prep on. The fight got cancelled 2 days out. So like, yeah, I've had one thing after another happen, but I just keep pushing through, keep persevering, because the belief I have in myself is second to none. I don't care what anybody says. I see what I'm going to do before it's going to happen. So I just keep pushing through. I'm like, keep throwing whatever you want at me. I'm just going to knock it in the head and I'm going to fire on.
Yeah, no, you're bulletproof. There's no doubt about it. And like, yet again, it was obviously a good shot to be back on home soil. We've seen all that support that came, from all over Ireland to see you. Obviously, it's always great to fight in home soil, but for your second fight, that was pretty impressive. And listen, you put in a great display, and even the build up, the media day, the weigh-ins, you looked $1,000,000.
Yeah, so the prep, when I turned over, right, it's not just about the boxing that you can do, it's everything outside of it. So you need to get them going with your social media, build it all up, even down to what I wear on the scales, my tracksuits, my hair, my kit, my ring walk song. So I'm one of these. I like to tick all of the boxes. I don't leave anything to chance. I always like to make sure everything's done perfectly. I look really, really professional, and I do. I stick out like a sore thumb, but it's because of the amount of prep I put into myself, even on the night. In regards to my preparation, my warm up, the whole lot. I paid for my S&C coach from Clonmel to come to Galway to do my flexibility, my mobility, warm me up perfectly. Now I mean perfectly, to get me physically and mentally ready. People were taking videos of me doing my work with them. McLeany's came up to me and everything. They said they've never worked with someone so professional and so early on. Or like, I have a team. I said I want to build a strong team from day dot. So that'll be my team that comes through with me for my whole entire career. And you could see it from my ring walk, from getting in the ring, from my performance, from everything. It was all so professional, and that's the way I want to look. That's what I want to perceive to people.
Yeah. And we see the aftermath shot. Look, all the fans coming over to you for pictures. You looked $1,000,000, not a scratch on you. A slick, smooth performance. What was it like making that ring walk out to that ring? Was obviously look. There's obviously some nerves and jitters at times, but you look fairly in the zone as always.
So because of the amazing work Colin did with me with my preparation, with my warm up, it doesn't give you 2 seconds to think about what you're doing. It was
Mm.
bang, 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 bang. Before I knew it, I was putting the gloves on. Before I knew it, I was doing pads. Before I knew it, was ready to the ring walk, right? But see, do you know my ring walk? I envisioned it being like that all the time, right? Because, like I say, I want to bring out my personality in my boxing, and that is me on a day-to-day basis. You never see me standing still. You never see me standing looking miserable. I'm always dancing, I'm always singing, I'm always moving about, I'm always just being silly. It's just the way I am. So when I got on the stage and the music started singing, I was doing my dance, doing my little shuffle. I was like, yeah, let's do it. I just let go. It
Mm.
just happened. And it's like dancing away the nerves. By the time Black Betty came on, I was like, let's do this. But in the background, I was thinking to myself, I was like, because Kevin didn't know I was going to do it, right? So I was like, oh my God, bet you Kevin, this is me in my head. I'm singing to myself. I bet you Kevin's freaking out. I bet you Kevin thinks Sean is getting too excited. I bet you Kevin's saying calm down. So I did a whole dance and I was really excited. And I got to the corner and I was like, are you all right, Kev? And I gave him a wink like that and he just started laughing.
He's some man. He's some man. It was some spectacle though, and then again, I think anyone that didn't get a chance to go, Shauna, they're like, "Fuck, I should have been there." And I think the most important part about this was that weekend there was some massive events on in Ireland, but every single one of them was chock a block. So that's a great sign of what's to come in Ireland throughout 2024. And it's because of you, it's because of all these great boxes that we're going to get maybe more events in Ireland throughout the year.
Yeah, definitely. There's actually one in the works that I'm kind of like, there's kind of something happening. Just put it that way. It'll be late in the summer, and it's a massive. Now, when I say it's a massive opportunity, but yeah, once this comes out, see, there's more Irish fighters coming through, and even like, look at the Irish fighters that are over in America. They need
Mm.
to be brought home as well. Like they do. Like it's all well and good having the lads over in America build a platform here. We are starting to build this slowly. Like Jay Byrne is doing good work with those little small hall shows. But more needs to come over. Like Matchroom apparently signed for like 4 fights, two or four fights a year or something in Ireland. There
Mm.
needs to be more of that because there is it's a big boxing country. It's
Mm.
huge, like, and the standard is massive. But bringing more of it here, right? This is what I think should happen. Bringing more here will inspire the young amateurs to want to come on. Like, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of men, but I'd love to see a lot more female in Ireland want to turn over. Because when I was on the Irish team, right, it was always in my head because I've had a pro style. I've always had a pro style. But I talked to the girls, and not one of them. It was not on any of the girls' radar. And like the girls on the Irish team, Gráinne Walsh, to me, she's down perfect pros. She's unbelievable. She's perfect for the pro style. So I hope to God for what I do, and say we do bring shows back to Ireland, she gets to come ringside and watch it, because she will come and watch me ringside. It'll inspire her to want to come to turn over and just have more coming from Ireland, because there's great men and all. Don't get me wrong. Should be more power and more female.
Yeah, Sean, I'm glad you mentioned the amateurs there, because you mentioned Gráinne, and let's be honest, she was completely fucking robbed a few weeks back. The amateur game, there's a lot of robberies, and especially with Dana Morehouse, and obviously, look, we know there's been a lot more robbed. And I think Amy, a former girl, you know well, Amy Brohouse, she's obviously, she might have to switch alliance just to fight in the Olympics, which is crazy. And I know deep down, like, the Irish people will support her, but that amateur game is grueling, Sean, as you probably know, and there's been decisions given to people that haven't deserved to win fights over the years. But what's your thoughts? Do you reckon that will ever clean up, or is it just going to be corrupt as always?
I think it's going to be as corrupt as always, but I think what they're after doing in regards with Amy and sending Amy to GB, I've been reading all the comments, because obviously they're my old teammates, and especially when it comes to Gráinne. Gráinne is one of my best friends in the amateurs, right? Since 2016. I'm her number one fan, and if I'm not boxing in the summer, I'm going to go support her in Paris. I told her already, right? I'm so proud of the woman; it's unbelievable. But look at it this way, right? She does deserve to go at the end of the day. All the talk on social media are people that don't have a clue about boxing, that don't even know what's been going on in the high performance for the last 2 years in regards to the two of them. She won 2 elites. She bet Amy well. Amy got sent even though she better. Amy, in my view, Amy left the ticket for Paris in the ring. I watched the fight in work on my phone. She got bet in a 3-2 split, and she should have bet the Welsh girl. She should have bet her. Difference between both: Gráinne battered the Polish one, bet her well, and didn't get the decision. So why should it be Amy? Amy's been inactive for a year. She got bet in the elite. She didn't turn up to the stadium for 3 months. She got bet in the qualifiers, didn't turn up for training again for another few months, and then sustained injuries. She's been very inactive for a year. And now she's been brought over to GB, and potentially could be going at a different way instead of another fighter that's been on GB team for 7 fucking years. That now, I think that is absolutely insane. I think that is scandalous. That is people not considering a person's dreams, a woman that has been working her life for this dream to qualify, and it's just been taken away because apparently she's the best in the world in the ranking with the IABA.
Yeah.
What's that going to do? She goes over and she gets bet at 60, and she doesn't even qualify. They all look so stupid. Might get some backlash for saying all this, but I'm being totally honest. That's exactly what could happen. She hasn't fought 60 kilos since 2021. None of it makes sense. It's scandalous. And you wonder why people, young amateurs, are turning over early when they don't have a leg to stand on with people making decisions. Politics. Get the politics out of sport. Get politics out of sport, even out of the pros. And the boxers would get on well. They'd get on so much better.
Yeah, no, it's sad to see there's a lot of shit going on at the moment. And like, yet again, Ireland, when it comes to the Olympics, we're known to produce our good boxers. But it's just, I'm always sick of seeing so many amateurs being absolutely robbed, being screwed out of positions, matches, fights. It's a horrible thing. But yet again, we have to mention Paddy Donovan, Katie Taylor, right? That's why we mention matchroom boxing, Shauna, because according to Eddie Hearn, when I've spoken to him, you know, we might potentially get a big night in Limerick. I know Callum Walsh, he's on, you know, fights on the UFC Fight Pass, Dana White's guy. He's going to bring a big fight to Cork. And obviously, Katie Taylor, that fight was supposed to happen in May, where she was going to fight. I don't know what's happening with Katie Taylor just yet, but listen, these are 3 cards you'd love to be on: Cork, Limerick, and obviously the 3 Arena Dublin. And they have to make it happen. You know, we need to see on matchroom cards more often.
Yeah, so I was talking to someone about it last night, right? I have everything, a massive platform like Matchroom or like whoever you want to call, I have everything to be on. I have the style, I have the swag, I have the ring walk. I'm well able to fight. I'm well able to entertain. I'm well able to put on a show, and I'm well able to talk. I'm good at talking. I'm good at selling myself, and I don't chat shit. One thing I will tell you, and one thing anyone else I'll tell you that knows me, I do not chat shit. I chat back. When I say I'm going to do something, I do it, and I do it in style, and that's the way it is. So, like, all I need is one shot on the platform and I blow up. And I know that for a fact. It's not being big headed, it's not thinking too much of myself. I just know what I'm capable of. And to be honest, I'm one of these, I manifest a lot of stuff. I believe in it so well, and it's stood to me so much in my whole entire career. I've seen myself on their platform. I've seen myself win the European title. I've seen myself win the world title. I've done it all. I've seen myself against really good girls that I know and believe that I will end up meeting these girls in the next 6 months to a year, or so on and so forth. Because at the end of the day, I'm in this game and I'm going nowhere. And I'm going to get progressively better. And I'm going to get on a lot of women's radar. And a lot of people are going to know that I'm coming. And that's just the way it is. So the sooner the likes of Matchroom or Eddie Hearn or Frank Warren or whoever you want, give me a chance, the better, because there's no other female in Ireland doing what I can do. So especially if they're in Ireland, I should be on it, because as everyone knows, and no one likes speaking about it, Katie's going to retire soon. I give her another year, give her another 3 fights, like they say, maybe 2-3 fights. And he's on about people filling stadiums. I put my life in it. I'll fill out a stadium. I know I will. I know I will. Like, Galway, I had an unbelievable backing in Galway. People didn't even know I boxed in Galway. They're from Connacht, or they're from wherever. And they all became my fans. The amount of people that came up to me after the fight and said, we're going to follow you from now on. They all followed me. They all got photos. Like, it didn't stop for like 2 hours after my fight, if not longer. I ended up having to walk away because I was so drained. All I wanted to do is go to bed. If I can do that in a small hall show, imagine what I'll do on a big, massive platform.
I know. Well, Shauna, I think you're going to have a lot of headaches moving forward, because I generally believe people won't want to fight you, and I just generally believe that they're like, shit. She's right in front of me. Shauna's right in front of me, and do I have to fight her, please? I think that's the way it's going to go. Obviously there's so many great fights out there for you, but I think you and your team are going to have a lot of headaches. People will try and avoid you. They do not want to fight you. And that's obviously going to be a hard thing for you, because you want to fight the best of the best, but the best won't want to fight you, Shauna. They're just afraid, I'd say.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what way it plays out. The reaction I got from my second fight, it was unbelievable. But there's some people that are watching but aren't saying anything.
Yeah.
But they're not saying anything because they know. Do you get me?
I do. But it's look, it's surreal. Like, when you look at the domestic fights right now, Shauna, obviously, look, you're very observant. I know you train so much, and you might get a little glimpse at night to see who's out there and who's fighting. But what kind of fights are you looking at? Because I know after 2 pro fights, yet again, there's no one like you that's made so much noise. You know what I mean? There's talks that possibly you might fight for the European title in your 3rd pro fight, which is incredible. It just shows how good you are. But what kind of girls are you looking at, and who would you like to fight over the next 12, 24 months?
So there's 2 girls. There's 2 girls. They're fighting for the silver, to be honest with you, April 5th, right? And one is 7 fights, 2 losses, and the other is 7 fights, 7 wins, right? And the winner of that gets to fight for the European title. And I want to be made mandatory to fight the winner straight away. Like, I'll go into a camp for 12 weeks and I'll go straight into a 10-rounder. It doesn't bother me. So that's where I want to line up first. And then we're going to go from there. I'm not going to start doing this whole calling out stuff. Yes, don't need to be doing that. I'm making noise in the right way. Don't want to be making enemies when I don't need to be making them yet. There'll be loads of enemies to come. Let's be honest about it. No one likes a new person, a new fresh person that's going to potentially take over. And I am making loads of noise. Like, my record is really good. There's girls I'm looking at are like 7 and 8-0, and they're 20 in the world, and I'm 20. I was 19. I got moved to 23, whatever way the ranking went. and I've only had 2 fights. So imagine what it's going to be like by 4, 6, 8. I'm coming to take over. I'm going to take it all. I really don't care who's in front of me. I'll go through them.
Yeah, I love it. I always love it. And yet again, how do you deal with all that stuff on Instagram and online? Because when you're online, Jesus, you just blow up. I think everyone has to check every morning someone wakes up. What's Shauna doing? Where's she training? What's she doing in the gym? You're so dedicated, Shauna. It's incredible. But listen, it's the life you want. It's the life, it's good to manifest things. I think when you manifest things, it's a good karma, a good vibe, and you manifest, European titles, world titles, fighting on home soil, bringing maybe the biggest ever fight to Tipperary. That's something that could happen. You have it all ahead of you.
Yeah, so with the social media aspect of it, obviously you need to be able to sell yourself. You have to be marketable, and there's actually a promoter. There's a promoter looking into me at the minute, and he followed me on Instagram 2 weeks ago. But there's been like radio silence. But I found out it's because he's analyzing my Instagram to see if I'm marketable, and I am, and it's the only way people will see it. My following's starting to grow. My viewings are fucking off the Richter scale. I'm really good with my reels, but I'm really good to talk on social media. So the way I am, I don't want to just be Shauna O'Keefe the fighter, or Shauna O'Keefe the boxer. I want to be an all-rounder. I want to be able to talk about real stuff. I want to be able to help people. I want to be able to give back. I want to be able to give advice in real life dealings, not just sport and health and stuff. And that's actually a massive platform I can build on. The amount of people that have been speaking to me is about trying to go into like motivational talks and stuff, because I've had a whirlwind of a career. I've had ups and downs. I've come backwards. I've had more setbacks than the man in the moon, and I've come back through them all the time, but come back stronger. And I believe that will help people. I want to be an ambassador. I want to be able to empower people. I want people to be able to look at me and be able to be saying like, oh, if she can do it, I can do it. I want to be able to help it. I think there's a platform for that, to be able to grow and to be able to build. And the only way you can do that is by building it and showing yourself, showing your real vulnerable self on social media. And that's what I try to do. I'm not going to be a person that's a prize fighter and be like, oh, Miss Laddie Da, like, oh, look at me. I am who I am. And no matter whether I'm European title, world title, I'm #1 in the world, I'm going to stay exactly who I am. I had a person say to me last night, I can't believe you actually texted me back. You're a normal Joe So, and I don't even know you, and you message me. I'm going to text you back. Because why wouldn't I? Like, it's a way of connecting with people. There's ways and means of networking. You never know. There's opportunities everywhere. And you close the door on them by becoming this person that's like too good for everybody. You're closing doors on yourself, and I'm not that type of person. I'm not like, I went out last night and I met a couple of people, but they're really, really nice people. And I nailed down a sponsor last night. Do you know? That's how you do it.
Yeah, no, you are the gift that keeps giving, which I love. And yet again, you deserve it all, Shauna. I'm sure when it's all said and done, and we sit down in 10 years and we talk about the previous 10 years, you'll have a book out. You'll be giving, talks all around the country. You'll be having, invites all around the world. You'll have your belts in a big metal frame shelf. There'll be so many belts there. But what do you reckon is going to happen next, Shauna? When do you reckon you're going to fight next? What's the vision? Are you looking to get back out the summertime, as you said? Is it how do you see it pan out over the next few months?
So I have an important meeting on Tuesday, and that will dictate when I'm going to be out. So with the meeting, they'll either tell me to do eliminator for the European title. So they'll either tell me to do an 8-rounder, or they may just push me and go straight for the 10-rounder. So if I do the 8-rounder, I'll aim to be out May 25th, right? May 25th, all going well, because I got offered a date on your call. And if I have to do the 8-rounder, I'll do it then.
Yeah.
If not, it will be late in the summer, doing the 10-rounder for the European title. Either way, I'll be out in the next 2 to 3 months.
Yeah. But you're not going to do the 8 rounds or 10 rounds anyway. We know that. I'd say it'd be finished before 4, maybe.
I said it to the lads. I was like, here, if I can do that now, right? I had no intention of doing it, right? But I did have a chat with my brother. I had a chat with my brother that day. So my best friend died in a car accident 10 years that night, and it was his anniversary. And his favorite, it was me and my brother's best friend, like, and he was like my brother. He's the closest thing I've ever had to a brother losing, like. And we turned around, we were like, wouldn't it be amazing if you knocked her clean out in the third round? And like without even thinking about it, because we chatted about it that morning, Jerry. And next minute then I was like, it happened. And that's why I started dancing while she was lying on the floor. And I watched back the clip of it, and I was like, "Oh my God, Shauna, you shouldn't have been dancing in the corner where she's lying on the floor." Like, but I was celebrating. I did it in the third round for Dano. Like, he was like, "Oh," it was like he was there with me. It was like it was meant to happen. It was amazing. But I literally sat to myself later on that night, and I was like, "I'm going to have to get used to this. I am going to have to, because I know I have the power. I hit you on that sweet spot, no matter who you are going down, and that is just the way it is." And with the repetition that myself and Kevin have done, like I put up a clip on my Instagram. I don't know if you see it. It's the exact same shot we've been practicing on the pads.
Yeah, I seen it.
And it perfect. So imagine what it'd be like in another fight, 2 fights, 3 fights. I still haven't tapped into the amount of power I can generate there. We're only scratching the surface. I'm only a baby in the game. So yeah, it's going to get exciting. I can't wait for it. But it is going to be hard to get used to. I'm not going to lie, but I'm not going to stop doing it. I am not going to stop doing it. I said I want to be a woman that does the unthinkable. I want to be a woman that knocks girls out. And that's what I plan to do.
Yeah, and you will. You will. This is Shauna. It's always a privilege and an honor speaking to you. I'll be catching up with Eddie Hearn in a few weeks, and I always burn the ears off Eddie when it comes to Irish fights and stuff. So I'll be name dropping you again. But yet again, Frank Warren, another big promoter. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff happening in Riyadh. There's oh man, there's so many opportunities there for you. But we can't wait. We're hoping you're back in the summer. We know you'll be back in the summer with some noise. And yet again, we will catch you very soon. When you're back home in Ireland, I'll be sure to come up your way and we'll grab a sit down. But yet again, it's a pleasure. I know you probably have to go back training in a couple of hours, but listen, enjoy your day. Keep up the great work, and we're big fans as always, Shauna.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the time, Jerry.
Anytime, Shauna. We'll catch you soon, chap. Have a great day and look
Okay.
after yourself, all right?
Bye.
Thanks, Shauna.